Hi, welcome to Mailsoftly YouTube channel again. So today we're going to talk about why you should use different domain names for your email activities. So let's dive in. So we get a lot of questions about if should I use my original domain for my email marketing campaigns, or should I just buy new domains? So it's a really good question actually. For instance, for your main domain, it's always a good idea to use it just for your general one-to-one email transactions, email activities. And if you're if you're using some kind of newsletters, then it's wise to just use some kind of subdomains, not your original domain, but you can create some subdomain and you can use this to just send your email newsletters. Why is this so? Why we should just do that? It's because each domain is reputation just calculated differently by email service providers and internet service providers. So if some accident happens with your emails, like for instance, if maybe while you're sending an email, if it gets too much complaint rates, then it's possible that your main domain will just be affected negatively. So instead of risking your main domain, which is your very valuable asset, you can just create some subdomains for your email newsletters. For instance, in Mailsoftly, we just have like newsletter at news.mailsoftly.com for our newsletters. Why we did that? As I said before, so if some accident may happen along the way while we send an email and we get too many complaints, for instance, what we can do, we can just change our subdomain and be more careful next time, and we can just observe the kind of reputation of that domain, and then we can maybe just maybe improve on that. So this is number one. So if you're just using a newsletter, just create a new subdomain and make sure that you also need to do all required email authentication records for your subdomain too, because internet service providers and email service providers actually treat subdomains as a separate entity. But here there's a kind of a tricky thing. They don't treat as all alone separate entity, so you're still may just affect negatively your main domain. But again, there's some kind of a layer that it just creates some protection. So it's wise to just create a new subdomain for that. So the second thing, what would happen if you just use completely a new domain? For instance, for Mailsoftly, let's say, what would happen if we just use like mailsoftlynewsletters.com or mailsoftlymail.com for our newsletters? Again, it's possible, you can use it. Of course, it's gonna just protect more when you compare it to the subdomain, because subdomain is still related to your main domain. But if you just create a new completely different domain, then you have more protection. But just know that email service providers are smart people, so they will also know that this is related to your original domain in somehow, because you're going to include your links inside of domain, right? You're still going to use your original website links on this new domain name under this domain name that you're just sending, let's say, some newsletters. You'll still include those, so they will also, with the help of AI, they can just associate it with it. The thing is here is actually not to trick them actually, but some kind of risk management. You're just doing some kind of risk management. So at the end of the day, you should always be compliant with these standard guidelines of this internet service providers and also email service providers. and also you should just be compliant, and you should just apply best use cases for your recipients, for your audience. So you should never just do like spams, and you should always make sure that you are sending emails that your recipients would want to receive. So this is never eliminated. Actually, you should always stick to that. But again, putting some extra protection is very, very wise, and we totally advise on that. And look, and all big companies also do that. For instance, when you look at Facebook, emails from Facebook is not coming from facebook.com, but rather facebookmail.com. Next time, maybe you can just check it out. The reason is they use different domain. Again, for every one of the email companies, actually, their main domain is very, very precious. So they should just they want to protect that. That's why they just create different kind of lookalike domain names to be used in their different email activities. So the third one that I want to mention, the third topic that I want to mention is, so let's say that, okay, so you have your original domain that you're just sending one-on-one in your company. So people just send emails from your original domain, of course. The second thing is, okay, so they're just sending the newsletter. You're using subdomain for your newsletter, like newsletter at news.mailsoftly.com, or it can be applied to your domain. And the third thing is, or maybe you just buy an extra domain, a lookalike domain, and then you may just use that new domain. Again, you can just do like, instead of mailsoftly.com, you can say, okay, mailsoftly.net. So you can use that domain on your email marketing activities, like sending newsletters or announcements, so. So the other thing, so if you want to use your if you want to do like cold outreach, which means that you are just getting into more hot waters, so you should definitely use a separate domain. You must never use your original domain if you're just doing cold emailing, because the chances are people will just the chances are high that people may just mark you as spam and make a lot of complaint rates. And also, if you're sending emails to people that you don't know, which we never recommend it, but you can get a lot of bounce rates. Again, bounce rates and complaint rates are two things that will ruin your reputation. If they are so high, your domain will be just affected negatively, and even your regular emails may go to spam. So your communication will be just cut off. Even you do the your main domain will also be affected negatively. So never ever use your main domain if you're doing cold emailing. Instead, and also don't use your subdomain either for cold emailing. Just use completely different domain. It can be a lookalike domain, like for instance, Mailsoftly sales at mailsoftlysales.com kind of thing. A totally different domain. But know that this can still affect your main domain. So you're not totally independent from your original domain, because you're going to include your, as I said, these internet service providers, email service providers are wise enough to just figure out, okay, so you're just doing some things that these guys don't like, so the chances are your main domain may also be affected. So use a separate domain, totally different domain, and just make sure that you're watching its reputation metrics, and then you'll be safe at the end of the day. So always, whichever email you're using, whichever domain you're using, and whichever activity you're doing, you also always need to just keep an eye on your metrics, bounce rates, spam rates, open rates. Those are very, very important. If you see any dramatic decrease in one of those metrics or increase, like if you see that your open rate is just, let's say that in general 40%, 50%, or 30%, let's say. If you see dramatic kind of changes, like maybe not 40%, but next time if you get like 10%, let's say, so the chances are your emails started to go to the spam, and so you should just stop, and you should just concentrate on the sending emails to more engaged users rather than not engaged users. So let's say that from your previous campaigns you have audiences that just always tend to open your emails, so you should just treat them as kind of your savers, let's say, and then you should just send emails to them so they will engage, and then your reputation will again hopefully will just get higher, and then you'll start sending the other kind of maybe not that engaged emails. You can start sending them. So always keep an eye on this, and also you should always keep an eye on the blacklist. So there are some blacklists you can just check from Google, like blacklist check is very, very important. We also have a free tool in Mailsoftly that you can just save your email domain, and then we will let you know if you just happen to be in these blacklists. And if you're in the blacklist, make sure that just take necessary actions. But be careful, some of the blacklists are not that kind of legit, I would say. So in general, actually, you should just know that blacklist is important, but not each blacklist is actually real, I would say. So because if they ask money to be removed from their list, they're not, don't take them seriously. So these are the things that is important to just to know, that your domain name and email activity are closely related, and you should always protect your domain. And how you do that? You should use tools like Mailsoftly or any other email marketing software to just get to know your reputation, open rates, bounce rates, spam rates. So if you see any dramatic increase or decrease on those, just stop whatever you're doing and make sure that you're just in the good side of the reputation activity, and check for blacklists, and also check your DMARC report, which again for each of your domain have those DMARC records, SPF records, DKIM records. We have a separate video for that on our videos section. You can just check them out. Make sure that you protect your domain. Even if you are not doing anything, any bad actor may use your domains and just send emails on your behalf, ruining your domain. So you make sure that you're just protecting yourself against those bad actors by having email authentication records. And yeah, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, and see you on our next video. Thank you.